Hey, what is up YouTube? It is CoolStoryBrobat with the 37th Narrated Wi-Fi Battle. And as you can see here, this is a Wi-Fi battle. So you know what that means? I got my USB stick back. I actually got my USB stick from my R4 in the mail several days ago. But I just haven't had the time to record a Narrated Wi-Fi battle because I've been doing that Nuzlocke and all those showdown battles and hanging out with all you interesting people. But anyway, we're back on the Wi-Fi train. This battle was the last battle I had saved to my R4 before the whole incident with it crashing on me happened. So yeah, you guys get to enjoy this. This battle is a guy against a guy named Gunrose something off the Smogon Battle Finder, which I think is down. Is it still down? I don't know. I haven't checked because, like I said, my thing's been malfunctional. No point in going if it doesn't work. But anyway, yeah, this is a UU battle, of course, and yeah, my team is severely weak to Raikou. Before I even say anything about his team, my team is severely weak to Raikou. In fact, my team is so threatened by Raikou, I actually replaced Bronzong with Swampert after I had this battle. But anyway, looking at his team, the number one thing right up front is his Raikou right there. And next, he has his Heracross, always a big threat in UU to look out for. He's also got Gligar and Umbreon, which is an annoying defensive core. I'm not saying it's unbeatable, but to be fair, they can be very stally. My one team that has both of them on it, it's actually a balanced team, often has a lot of battles running past 100 turns just because both of them are there, and they're both stally as life. Blastoise is his rapid spinner. I'm not too worried about it. Chandelure can be threatening if I don't have the right thing on it at the right time. But anyway, let's get into this. So he starts off here. I lead off with my P2 unit like always. He leads off with his Raikou. I'm assuming it's Scarf Raikou because he's leading off with it to get off a Volt Switch, probably, no doubt. And yeah, he obviously here he goes up for the Volt Switch, and based on the damage output, I know that it's not Specs Raikou, and I'm pretty positive he's Scarfed. But you know, you gotta be careful because sometimes I had a Raikou that set up Substitute and Calm Mind on me from turn 1, and I got swept 6-0 from the very beginning. I was disgusted. But anyway, he switches out into his So Slow, gotta go fast, as I went for the Discharge, hoping to paralyze whatever he brought in. It doesn't take a whole ton of damage. He goes for the Toxic on me as I go for the Magic Code. I made the beautiful prediction because I knew he was going to go for Toxic, but the Toxic misses him, unfortunately. So I was a bit salty about that one. So I go for the Discharge. I get the crit on his Blastoise, but it doesn't kill him, nor does it get the paralysis, unfortunately. So it brings in third place as he goes for the Roar, and he withdraws his So Slow, sends out his Chandelure. Big threat here, big threat. I go for the Zen Headbutt. I honestly was thinking about going for Earthquake, I think, but I decided to just go for the Zen Headbutt because of that stab. But it happens, it happens. So I have Zen Headbutt, so I'm not running Toxic. So he switches in his Heracross as I switch in my Porygon 2. It was a good play on his part because he knows that Porygon 2 counters Chandelure, but he brings in Heracross predicting my switch. So that threatens my Porygon 2, so he has to switch out. And he goes for Substitute, so I know now he's not Choice Scarf. So I can outspeed him very easily and threaten him with a Shadow Ball from Missy Elliott. And he goes for the Mega Horn. Does a ton of damage to me, actually, because Missy Elliott is pretty frail on the physical side, even though it resists Mega Horn. I make the safe play and just go for another Shadow Ball in case he doesn't switch out. But he switches in his Umbreon here. So I have to switch here because I'm Choice Specs, so I'm locked in the Shadow Ball. So I switch out here. I go to third place, my Bronzong, because I want to get my Rocks up. Actually, that's the main reason I even switched in. I want to get my Rocks up, and I want to lure his Chandelure so I can use Earthquake. But he actually makes the good play here and sends in his Gligar, which for some weird reason he named Racism. I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, we exchange rocks with each other, and he goes for the U-turn on me. I stay in and go for another Earthquake, expecting him to switch to something. I'm expecting him to switch to Chandelure, but he switches back into Umbreon. But at the same time, Earthquake was the move that would have done the most damage to his Umbreon, although not a whole ton of damage to begin with. I'm not an offensive Bronzong, so foul play isn't going to do a lot to my Bronzong, even if he went for it. But I figure he's going to try to set up wishes on me because he could take anything my Bronzong throws at me. So I'm going to switch into Chili right here. Now since he goes for the Wish, I'm expecting him to switch. So I charge up my Focus Pimp Hand, hoping for the best. But he stays in and goes for the foul play. So he disrupts my Focus Punch, and it completely unveils my tactic. And unfortunately, I can't do anything, so I have to go for the Ice Punch. I'm glad I didn't go for Swords Dance because that foul play would have one-hit KO'd me if I did. So yeah, Weavile did get sacked, unfortunately. At the same time, he wasn't the most destructive against that guy's team, so I'm not worried about it. I switch in Admiral Striations here to threaten him, and I should have just gone for the Stone Edge for real. I decided to get up a substitute to make the safe play against whatever he's going to switch in, because there's nothing Umbreon could have done, so he would have had to switch. So he brings in his Chandelure, who is welcome to Shadow Ball, and yeah, he Shadow Balls me. I go for the Stone Edge, and that busts his Chandelure up. His Chandelure gets scraped, it gets knocked out easily. So Admiral Striations, however, is prone to revenge killing. Now, this next play here, I'm going to kind of regret what happens. He sends in Raikou here, and I know he's Scarf, so I know I can take a hit from this much HP. But he goes for the Volt Switch instead of going for the Thunderbolt like I would have hoped, because I was about to fire off a Dynamic Pimp Hand. If I knew he was gonna Volt Switch, I would have set up a substitute just to give his Gligar a really hard time. But unfortunately, I hit him with the Dynamic Pimp Hand of Justice, and it doesn't do much because it's a Gligar, and he has massive physical defense. So yeah, I should have subbed up right here, but I decided to just take the Earthquake because I'm thinking I know he outspeeds, so I know Earthquake would have done a whole ton of damage to me. I go for the Ice Punch, and it does massive damage to his Gligar, but it doesn't kill him. It doesn't kill him, and you can feel how disappointed I am right now. So I withdraw and send out P2 unit. Even though he's not running Toxic, I can threaten him with an Ice Beam, which is enough to force Gligar out. But he goes for Roost, makes the good play here, and I'm hoping he doesn't bring in Umbreon. But unfortunately, the man brings in Umbreon as I go for a Discharge, hoping to cripple whatever he sends in with Paralysis. I'm actually hoping I don't cripple his Umbreon with Paralysis, because that'll kind of paralyze me. Even though Porygon 2 is slow as dirt, he doesn't like the chance of not being able to move sometimes. So he foul plays me. That does next to nothing. I get a free recover, and I know he's gonna set up Wish. You know what I should have done? I should have switched in Admiral Striations right here. I should have switched him back in, but I stay in and go for the Ice Beam, trying to predict him switching into something else after he sets up a Wish, but it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So I'm kind of costing myself here by taking all these risky plays, repeatedly going for Discharge, Ice Beam, Discharge, Ice Beam, getting that delicious Tundra Bolt combination going off. And yeah, it's Tundra Bolt. We don't say Bolt Beam no more. This ain't 2007. It's 2013. We Tundra Bolt now. Get with it. So I'm Ice Beaming and Discharging and Ice Beaming and Discharging, and he switches in Heracross on a Discharge just like I was hoping. But look what happens. Look what happens. I hit him with the Discharge. He doesn't even get paralyzed, and he gets healed all the way back up from Wish. So he goes for a substitute, and I knew it was coming, so I stayed in to go for an Ice Beam just to make sure that I broke his substitute. Just to make sure. I knew he was going to go for a close combat, so I went for a Discharge, hoping I get the Paralysis this time. I really shouldn't have been playing around hacks, but I knew the Ice Beam wasn't going to KO him, so I figured why not. If I was an offensive one, maybe I would have been able to do a lot more damage. But he goes for a substitute and activates his Shellac Berry, so now Heracross is a massive threat. I should have broken the sub. I should have broken the sub, but for some dumb reason I went for Recover. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting Shellac Berry. I was expecting another sub, but I wasn't expecting the berry. I should have thought about it when I didn't see any leftovers recovery on his Heracross. I don't know, but he KOs my Porygon 2. He gets the Moxie boost up. So now I bring in third place my Bronzong. He goes for the close combat from +1. It does a ton of damage, but he doesn't knock me out because I'm physically defensive. So I go for the Gyro Ball to ensure I break his substitute. And now I switch out here because I don't want to take another close combat and get this guy a free Moxie boost. So I switch into Missy Elliott and pray he doesn't go for Mega Horn. Thankfully, he does not go for Mega Horn. He goes for another close combat. I was thinking about going for Trick here. I was thinking about going for Trick just to cripple his Umbreon in case he switched it in, but I didn't do it. I had that defeated mentality knowing he would have outsped and possibly KO'd me with Mega Horn. I guess he was afraid of Mega Horn missing. So he switched out and went to his Umbreon as I went to his Shadow Ball, just as I had this defeated mentality, and I feel like a fool now because he really messed with my head here. And yeah, he's got Umbreon here, as I got in, you slow, bro, and then he sends in his Blastoise, so slow. So it's like, you slow, bro? And he's like, so slow, I'm so slow, you don't even know. And I'm like, gotta go fast. So I slack off here, getting a ton of my health back, and he's gonna rapid spin just before I kill him. Good play on his part to get rid of the Stealth Rock. I mean, the Stealth Rock doesn't really matter by this point in the game because, you know, there's nothing really weak to Stealth Rock he has left. And he brings in Raikou here, and this is where it gets ugly. I'm crossing my fingers, praying I can take this Choice Scarf Thunderbolt, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because I'm just max HP and max defense. So he shatters me with the Thunderbolt. I was going for the Thunder Wave. If I got the Thunder Wave off, I could have revenge killed him. But it doesn't happen. And since my team was too weak by this point to really deal with his Scarf Raikou, he just sort of comes in and just wrecks face. He just cleans up shop on me, and I can't do anything about it except just take it. I just can't do anything except take it. So he just Thunderbolts me and just crushes me. And he kills off Admiral Striations, third place, you slow, bro. And last but not least, Missy Elliott. And it's just good game from here on. So yeah, he 4-0s me. He cleans up on me. He really messed with my head on that Heracross play. I could have done a few plays better than I did this battle, but it happens sometimes. You know, the one thing is to not adopt the defeated mentality and just let people sweep you when they're in position to. Try not to do that. I honestly was figuring he could have crushed me even if I switched in Miss Magius, because he had Mega Horn. And I'm not sure what his last move was. I'm not sure if it was Swords Dance or Stone Edge, but, you know, I guess if it was Stone Edge, he would have used it. But I guess he didn't want to rely on it, or I guess he didn't want to take the risk because he knew he could have had this anyway. But either way, good game, Gunrose. We all learned a lesson here today. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.